If you've ever felt like you're too smart to be stuck financially, you're right. And yet, here you are maybe. Today, I'm going to show you why most high IQ, high income people stay broke, or at least broke by their standards, and exactly how you can break free. Here we go. So I need to put up a legal disclosure here. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for educational purposes only. This is entertainment, and it's not financial advice. Always do your own research before making financial decisions, and please be careful. So in this video, we're going to unpack ego, we're unpacking overthinking, we're going to unpack fear, and the path to financial freedom through systems. Now, let me start off by saying one of my favorite sayings, right? When emotions goes up, intelligence goes down, right? And vice versa. So emotions really has no place in investing. You've got to be unemotional. So you got to be like a robot sometimes when you're making financial decisions. Here's the smart person's paradox. High intelligence does not always equal wealth, right? I know a lot of people that have unbelievable college degrees, PhDs, they have law degrees, and they're broke. I know a lot of quote unquote dumb people who are like C students like me, right? And they're rich, or they're doing really well, and their financial acumen is through the roof. Why? Because they use a little bit of common sense and they figured out a way to tame their emotions. The problem is smart people often overthink everything. Right? They overthink. They're always got the little brain going, and I gotta think about this and I gotta think about that. It's not always about the thinking, right? Sometimes it's the stinking thinking that gets you in trouble. They want control, but they also fear losing money. And fear is not a really great thing to have when you're in investing. It's good to acknowledge that there's a potential for loss, but fear often holds you back in a lot of things in your life, right? You know this. Maybe it was the first girl you had to walk up to and ask on a date. Or maybe it's, jumping off a cliff and doing parachuting or something in between, right? There's all kinds of fear that holds us back from the amazing experiences that we can have. And we've got to figure out a way to tame the fear. A lot of times, smart people go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start one day when I've learned everything. Once I know everything about this subject, that's when I'm going to do it. And that leads to inaction. Those people they sit there and they research. And I'm one of these too. I gotta be honest with. I'll research a bunch of stuff, but at the end of it, I know that I have to fight that tendency to be inactive, and I have to take that action. Right? I have to decide to cut off all other options. That's what a decision really is to move forward after you've made a pretty good amount of research, and boom, now you're going forward and you're creating action. Because we're not here forever. We've got to make some serious moves while we're here, and we've got to take advantage of opportunities. And a lot of people that are smart use the four most damaging words. I already know that, right? So if you're one of those people that thinks you know it all, and you're not humble enough to admit that you don't know everything, then that's probably going to stop you from moving forward. You see, imagine a circle, and we're that inside dot in the circle, and we're comfortable on the outside of that circle. But we don't grow until we get outside of that circle. So we've got to expand our comfort zone. The more we expand our comfort zone, the more we can grow, right? So we've got to push ourselves through that fear to move to the next level. So here's why smart people stay broke. The ego gets involved. I should figure it out myself. I don't need anybody else to do this. I don't need anybody's information. I want to just do it all on my own. Or they might have analysis paralysis. Too much research, no action, right? Like we just talked about. Fear of risk, protecting what they have. I've worked so hard, I don't want to lose what I have. So what they'll do is they'll take the least risky, that they think is the least risky approach. Sometimes they'll put something into such a safe investment, it doesn't even outperform inflation, for example. Or they have mistrust. They don't trust Wall Street or advisors or even themselves sometimes because maybe they've been screwed in the past or they've heard stories about getting screwed in the past, and that keeps them inside that comfort zone. We've got to push the boundaries of that comfort zone. And so what is the hidden cost of not taking action? Well, doing nothing feels safe. I don't have to do anything. My money is still sitting there. I open up my account. It's in cash. Woo, I know it's there, but it's expensive. That's some of the most expensive inaction you might take. Because you miss out on the compounding. You miss out on the income. I'm an income guy. We talk about income all the time here. And you've got to create income. Cash flow is king, right? Inflation quietly destroys your buying power. I did a video several months ago about how 11.1% is the hurdle rate. You've got to beat 11.1% because if you don't, you're going backwards in inflation. I don't care that Jerome Powell thinks it's 2%. You know it, and I know it, that your eggs are up twice as much as they were from 4 years ago. That's not 2%, right? And I did a little study with ChatGPT, and we figured out that 11.1% over the last 4 years is the inflation rate. And if you're not getting that, you're going backwards in buying power. $100,000 next year becomes $89,000. And the year after that, it becomes $78,000 or whatever the math is in buying power. And that eats you up. So not taking action, not keeping ahead of these government bureaucrats that are spending all of our money and taxing us into oblivion with taxes on everything is making us go backwards. And the real key thing that you have to understand is that you got to start now. Time is your most valuable asset. Right? You can research for the next 5 years of what the best investments are, and 5 years from now, there's going to be a bunch of new ones that you're going to have to research. Or you're going to research for 5 years about what the best system is, and in 5 years, you're going to have missed out on those 5 years of compounding. And it's those little tiny bits of compounding that add up, especially with the ones that are early. They don't seem like much, 2% a month, 3% a month, 4% a month. But if you can consistently get those, boom, and you get them early, they add up to huge amounts of money. So you got to make a shift. You got to go from complexity to clarity. You got to think about what's clear. Where is my path? Where am I going? How am I going to get there? Success is not about IQ. It's not about how smart you are. You could be the smartest person in the world. It's about systems. All the wealthy people that I know, all the wealthy people that I've studied over the last 40 years, they all have systems. And simplicity is the greatest system, right? If you can get weekly income, repeatable rules, that's the best kind of system you could get. Think about the big companies that are out there. I had a friend of mine that used to always want to be in multi-level marketing, and I'm not a multi-level marketing kind of guy. It's not my thing. But the idea is that you get enough people under you, you build enough of a system that every week or every month, they start to pay you off on the work that they're doing because you got them under your wing, for example, right? Or you can think about Apple. Like I open up my credit card statement every month, and dang if there's not a bunch of Apple charges on there. 99 cents here for this, and $2.99 for that, and $9.99 for this other thing. And you know, the phones and all this, you know, they're nitpicking you away with a subscription service. So if they're doing it, shouldn't we do that in our investments? Shouldn't we get a couple dollars and 99 cents every day, week, month? Shouldn't we get $299 a day? Shouldn't we get $2,999 a week, for example? We've got to get into that subscription mindset. I don't know if you've been on Amazon lately, but Amazon is like, hey, you want to put this in your cart every month? You just make it automatic. Because they know that the subscription, the chip away model is the one that's going to get them consistency. And we've got to think about that in our own investing. Income is greater than speculation. You might speculate. Some of the best venture capital companies in the world, they speculate. They bet on 10 companies and they hope that one of them hits. 9 of them go out of business, but that one that gives them 100x makes them all the money. But that's speculation. They're losing 90% of the time. And so income is greater than speculation because income adds up, right, if you manage it well. And confidence is way better than chaos. So you've got to clear up your mind. You've got to get some clarity because that's going to beat out and suppress the chaos that's coming up. I'm fortunate that I get to meet a lot of really cool people, and some of those people are in my masterminds group and have taken my courses. And just a couple of the things that have come to my mind over the last few weeks. I have got a doctor in the program. He's replacing $10,000 a month of his income with covered calls. It's really easy to do. I show people how to do it all the time. It's reliable income that comes from the stock market. You own an asset, you sell calls against it, you get income. I have an attorney that I know. He gets 1 to 2% a week very safely. He's still getting his feet wet. He's figuring it out, but 1 to 2% a week is what he's targeting. I have a tech exec that I know in my program that has now taken full control of his portfolio. I've got an ex-military guy, really cool guy, and he's been making over $20,000 a week just in the last month or so since he's joined the program. And so I could tell you dozens of stories, and this is not about that. This is about your story. What's your story going to be? Because the consistent action that they took are the things that they changed their lives. You've got to break free. And breaking free starts with action. Okay? Inaction is not going to get you to where you want to be. You don't need more knowledge. You need a system. You don't need more time. You need leverage. You need a system. You need a set of rules that removes those emotions. You don't need a new job. You need income from the capital that you make. That's really where this goes. So what do you do about all this stuff? What is this bald guy saying? Well, your next step, you got to take a step. You got to decide. You got to cut off all other inaction things, and you got to make an action. I can help you if you want. Love to help you. We have a training at the cashflowmachine.io. There's a link in the bottom for some of our training. It's free master courses that kind of show you the philosophy behind what we do and what we teach. Or you can enroll in my program called the Elite Course. And if you want to attend our live event coming up in September, we'll fold the Elite Course into that and show you all the ins and outs of how do you create cash flow. The future really belongs to those of us who act. If it's just me and you talking together, look me in the eye and tell me you've taken all the action or you haven't taken all the action that you need. Or you are at this place that you want to be and everything's perfect, or maybe you're not. But action and inaction are on the opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to wealth. What if you could lock in reliable income every month no matter what the market's doing? Most investors are gambling with their retirement, hoping things work out. But hope is not a strategy, and that's why I created the Cash Flow Machine, a proven system that works in bull markets, bear markets, and everything in between. Join me live in Clearwater, Florida, September 26th through the 28th for a powerful 3-day event that will change the way you trade forever. It's called the Wealth Accelerator Live. It's 3 days to build your income machine and rewire your wealth mindset. Here's what I'm going to deliver to you. Lifetime access to my full elite trading course. It's a $2,997 value. A personal trading plan that you can use right away. Mastery of the Juice Calculator to engineer smarter trades. Hands-on sessions with real traders showing real income strategies. Behind-the-scenes tools we never teach online. Now, you'll be in a room with serious investors, people just like you who are scaling income and wealth with this repeatable system. And we're keeping it small and intimate. Spots are very limited and we will sell out. Grab your early bird ticket today and let's build your income machine together. Hey, it's Mark Yagi, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do that right now. That would be a great favor to me, and plus it helps me get this material out to a lot of other people that might need it. I've got a little bit of a movement going on here, and I want to try to change the world one person at a time, showing them that you can make safe, reliable income from the stock market. And plus it helps to grow the channel a little bit. Also, if you would give me a thumbs up on the video and like it, great. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down, that's cool. But just tell me why you don't like it so I can get better. And then hit the notification bell so you can get these videos as soon as they come out, because a lot of times this is timely information and you want to get that information before it gets stale. The last thing is to join my free Insider Tips newsletter. There's a link below and you get everything in one spot. You get breaking news and analysis also. So that would be great if you could do that too. See you soon. So I need to put up a legal disclosure here. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for educational purposes only. And this is entertainment and it's not financial advice. Always do your own research before making financial decisions and please be careful.